We are the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
We're definitely Hebrew Israelites. But it was other things that went along with the curses that was put on our people in our Deuteronomy 28th chapter. And then once you begin to see these things, you begin to understand why our people walk around in darkness as far as religious doctrine is concerned.
Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Galatians chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, members, don't get weary.
Members don't get weary. Members don't get weary. Members don't get weary. For the word's most done. Oh, keep your lamps trimmed and burning. Keep your lamps trimmed and burning. Keep your lamps trimmed and burning. For the word's most done.
Going down to the river of Jordan. Oh yes, going down to the river of Jordan. Oh yes, going down to the river of Jordan where my work is done. Oh, I'm gonna sit at the welcome table. Oh yes, sit at the welcome table. Oh yes, gonna sit at the welcome table.
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame, and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's Holy Sabbath Day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. Now, today's sermon is entitled The Great Accusation. And in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9, it says, And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our Elohim, and the power of his anointed one, the Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before Elohim day and night. Let's begin today's sermon in Proverbs chapter 29. Now, the question that we have to get in our head is, what is he saying about you? We know of the accusations that we get here on earth. What is he saying concerning you? Now, understand, we're talking about heavenly conversations. We're not talking about earthly gossip. So, what will the adversary use and say? Remember the situation with Job. He said, come on now, does Job fear you for naught? Look at all the stuff that you've given unto him. Now, will the adversary, the devil, take calculation of everything you have and then go to Yahweh and say, according to what they have, the attitude that they have is very unbecoming of having such. you need to consider what conversation is he having about you. Let's begin in Proverbs chapter 29, and let's start at verse 1.
He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. Whoso loves wisdom rejoices his father, but he that keeps company with harlots spends his substance. The king by judgment establishes the land, but he that receives gifts overthrows it. A man that flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous does sing and rejoice. The righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked regards not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away anger. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool utters all his mind, but a wise man keeps it in till afterwards.
Right. You oftentimes, sometimes people are in a hurry to come and tell you their version of a story that you ain't even heard yet. You don't even know nothing about the situation, but they're in a hurry to come and tell you because they need to be first. But a wise man keep his mouth shut until the end. And we are doing Bible trivia. If you guys have not received a Bible trivia, please send a request to theuci.org if you want those questions. Go ahead.
Verse 12. If a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked.
Now, if the ruler gets caught up in the emotion and then he is pulled in, he has now ruined the entire body. We don't understand how powerful an accusation could be and what it does. Let's say the accusation sounds amazingly true. The ruler hearkens, now he has defiled the entire body. Through one accusation. Go ahead.
The poor and the deceitful man meet together. Yahweh lightens both their eyes. The king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct your son, and he shall give you rest. Yes, he shall give delight unto your soul.
But you know, you have this generation who don't believe in disciplining their kids. Why? Because we raise our kids off of these little anecdotes that we've received from other nations. The problem is your kids not going to be treated like their kids. They can't wait to discipline your kids. They already have a prison set up for them, so they want you to try to follow their way. Go ahead.
Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keeps the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he shall not answer.
Well, how you going to correct the servant then? Read that again.
A servant will not be corrected by words,
Uh-huh.
for though he understand, he will not answer.
Though he understand, he ain't going to say nothing to you, and you can't correct him with words. That means you're going to have to correct him some other kind of way. Okay. Go ahead.
Seeth you a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him. He that delicately brings up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgressions. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Whoso is partnered with a thief hates his own soul. He hears cursing and bewrayeth it not. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoso puts his trust in Yahweh shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, But every man's judgment comes from Yah.
Mm-hmm.
An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked.
Right. You have to understand that if you're going to try to walk correctly, then you are an abomination to those who don't walk correctly. But what do? These are our biggest friends. These are the individuals that we spend the most part of our time. These are the people that we say, oh, I hung out with the wicked and I had such a good time. Right. And sooner or later, you're going to be wicked too. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 16. We don't understand. The adversary of the devil sends out invitations. Hey, go get that person right there for me. 2 Samuel chapter 16, and I want you to start at verse 15.
And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel with him. And it came to pass, when Hushai, the Archite, David's friend, was come unto Absalom, that Hushai said unto Absalom, Elohim save the king, Elohim save the king. And Absalom said to Hushai, Is this your kindness to your friend? Why went you not with your friend? And Hushai said unto Absalom, No, but whom Yahweh and this people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be, and with him will I abide.
Now, you're looking at multiple levels of deception right here. One has gone about to deceive the other people, but has also deceived himself. He's asking, now this is his father that he is betraying, and he's asking this man, why didn't you go with your friend? Now, why is he okay with this deception, or the deception that he believes is happening? Because he himself is in the midst of deception. This is why it says deceiving and being deceived. Go ahead.
And again, whom shall I serve? Should I not serve the presence of his son? Shall I not serve in the presence of his son? As I have served in your father's presence, so will I be in your presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, Give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Go in unto your father's concubines, which he has left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that you are abhorred of your father. Then shall the hands of all that are with you be strong.
Now you have to understand the whole passage of from one king to the next king. When there is a next king, he inherits the house and everything that's in it, which includes those women. Go ahead.
So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. And the counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired at the oracle of Elohim. So was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom.
Now you got to understand how this sits. His counsel was as if he was the oracle of Elohim, which means they followed Ahithophel's advice before he even finished talking. Now let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 17 and start at verse 1.
Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I'll arise and pursue after David this night. And I'll come upon him while he is weary and weak-handed, and will make him afraid. And all the people that are with him shall flee, and I'll smite the king only. And I'll bring back all the people unto you. The man whom you seeketh is as if all return. So all the people shall be in peace. And the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. Then said Absalom, Call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he says.
Now, there's another advisor. This is Hushai. Now, this advisor is going to cause some trouble because his direction is actually to protect David the king. Go ahead.
And when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel has spoken after this manner. Shall we do after this same? If not, speak you. And Hushai said unto Absalom, the counsel that Ahithophel has given is not good at this time. For, said Hushai, you knoweth your father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be shaft in their minds, as a bear robbed of her whelps in the field. And your father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. Behold, he is hid now in some pit, or in some other place. And it will come to pass, when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever hears it will say, there's a slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. And he also that is valiant, whose heart is as the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knows that your father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are valiant men. Therefore I counsel that all Israel be generally gathered unto you, from Dan even to Beersheba, as the sand is by the sea for multitude, and that you go to battle in your own person. So shall we come upon him in some place where he shall be found, and we will light upon him as the dew falls on the ground. And of him and of all the men that are with him there shall not be left so much as one. Moreover, if he be gotten into a city, then shall all Israel bring ropes to that city, and we shall draw it into the river, until there be not one small stone found there. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel. For Yahweh had appointed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent that Yah might bring evil upon Absalom. Then said Hushai unto Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled.
Right. So one counsel sounded better, but Ahithophel's counsel, if they had followed it, would have destroyed King David. He had that kind of spirit on him in dealing in counsel. So another counselor was put in the mix. Go ahead.
Now therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him. Now Jonathan and Ahimaaz stayed by Enrogel, for they might not be seen to come into the city. And a wench went and told them, and they went and told King David. Nevertheless a lad saw them, and told Absalom, but they went both of them away quickly, and came to a man's house in Beharim, which had a well in his court, whither they went down. And the woman took and spread a covering over the well's mouth, and spread ground corn thereon, and the thing was not known. And when Absalom's servants came to the woman to the house, they said, where is Ahimaaz and Jonathan? And the woman said unto them, they be gone over the brook of water. And when they had sought and could not find them, they returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, after they were departed, that they came up out of the well, and went and told King David, and said unto David, arise, and pass quickly over the water, for thus has Ahithophel counsel against you. Then David arose, and all the people that were with him, and they passed over Jordan. By the morning light there lacked not one of them that was not gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed... Now,
he has gotten accustomed to his counsel being followed. Remember, his counsel was as if a man asked the oracle of Elohim. His stuff is golden, right? Okay, keep going.
But when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and arose and gat him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order, and hanged himself, and died, and was buried in the grave of his father.
He couldn't take rejection. The first sign of aggression of his stuff being rejected, he has now went home, got his house in order, and hung himself. Because they didn't listen to you? You gonna kill yourself because they didn't listen to you? Did you finish that, brother?
Yes, sir. That was verse 23.
Let's go to Exodus chapter 19. Man, if I decide I was going to hang myself, everybody didn't listen to me. I'm trying to tell you. This thing would have never got off the ground. I might not have got out the garage. Exodus 19, let's read verses 1 through 8.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
You're not a peculiar treasure just because you said, I found out that I'm one of the 12 tribes of Israel. He does not care. You got the wrong thing going on. You think you're a peculiar treasure because, you know what? I looked in this book and found out that we Israel. That's not going to make you a peculiar treasure. What is your walk like? If you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant. Go ahead.
For all the earth is mine, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of Israel, of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that Yahweh has spoken we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yah.
All right, so all the words Yahweh has spoken we will do. They are agreeing to this covenant and all the things thereof connected into it. Let's go to Exodus chapter 24. And start at verse 1.
And he said unto Moshe, Come up unto Yah, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu.
Where you at? All right.
Exodus 24.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 1. And he said unto Moshe, Come up unto Yah, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship you afar off. And Moshe alone shall come near to Yah. But they shall not come near, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moshe came and told the people all the words of Yah, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, All the words which Yahweh had spoken, or has said, we will do.
Here we go again. We are agreeing once again to the covenant. Now, sometimes we agreeing because we in a place of turmoil at that time. You know, when somebody get caught by a rival gang and they say, you gonna do something? Yeah, I'm gonna do it, boss. Yes, I am. I ain't gonna wear no more blue. It's red from now on. I promise. But they say anything because they just got caught. Go ahead.
And Moshe wrote all the words of Yah, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yah. And Moshe took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, All that Yahweh said will we do, and be obedient.
Wait a minute. They went one step further. All right. So now he took the book of the covenant, read it in the audience of the people. They said, All that Yahweh have said we will do, and be obedient. And keep in mind now, they had marital vows, and they decided the modern day people were going to take obedience out of the vows. Understand that they are entering into this vow, and they said all that you have spoken, we will do and be obedient. Go ahead.
And Moshe took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all these words.
Now, understand something. If we are dealing and looking between a natural level and a spiritual level, sprinkling this blood among them is the consummation of the covenant. There was the agreement, and then there was the consummation. See, there's the engagement, and then there's what happened when you went in that tent. Okay, all right, just make sure we're on the same page here. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Then went up Moshe and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the el of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw Elohim, and did eat and drink. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I'll give you tables of stone, and a law and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them. And Moshe rose up, and his minister Yahshua. And Moshe went up into the mount of Elohim. And he said unto the elders, Tarry you here for us, until we come again unto you. And, behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Moshe went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. And the glory of Yahweh abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called out unto Moshe out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of Yahweh was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moshe went up in the midst of the cloud, and gat him up into the mount. And Moshe was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights.
So understand, when this cloud and this fire came upon the mount, that is the spirit of Yahweh descending upon that mount. And then Moshe went into that thick cloud. So you have to remember that as we go and read a little further, when you have other instances where the cloud departed off the tabernacle. What was that? That was his spirit leaving. Okay. What do you do to make the spirit leave? That's something that we have to consider. Let's go to Matthew chapter 15. See, we can't be so arrogant as to believe the Spirit will dwell with us always, no matter how we act, no matter what we say, no matter what we do. Matthew chapter 15, and we're going to read verses 1 through 20.
Verse 1. Then came to Yahshua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandments of Elohim by your tradition? For Elohim commands, saying, Honor your father and mother, and he that curses father or mother, let him die the death. But you say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, is a gift, by whatsoever you might be profited by me, and honor not his father nor his mother, he shall be free. Thus have you made the commandment of Elohim of none effect by your tradition.
Right. Now, you have father and mother naturally, and then you have father and mother spiritually. Your father is Yahweh, your mother is the church. How do you operate with her? How do you operate with him? Go ahead.
You hypocrites, well did Esaias prophesy of you, saying, This people draw near unto me with their mouth, and honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
See, Yahweh watches those actions. He hears those words, but he watches those actions and see if they match those words. Go ahead.
But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. And he called the multitude and said unto them, Hear and understand. Not that which goes into the mouth defiles a man, but that which comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man. Then came his disciples and said unto him.
So you have to ask yourself, what came out your mouth? Now, instead of evaluating what came out of our mouth, what we do next is try to explain why what came out of our mouth was okay. Well, why would you say this? Well, let me tell you. See, what had happened was, see, the way I was feeling, I was very tender up in here, on the insides. See, look at them. They're both of them like that. They're real tender. Oh, okay. So instead of owning what we said, we spend the next 15, 20 minutes trying to explain why what we said wasn't that bad. Right. Go ahead.
Then came his disciples and said unto him, Know you that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind.
If Yahweh didn't plant it for longevity, there's some things that Yahweh allowed to be planted for a time. And once it runs its course, it's going to get rooted up. Go ahead.
And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Then answered Cephas and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. And Yahshua said, Are you also yet without understanding? Do not you yet understand that whatsoever enters in at the mouth goes into the belly and is cast out into the draught?
Matter of fact, come on now. If it's cast out in the draught, what are you talking about? He talking about going to the bathroom. All right? Oftentimes, when somebody running off at the mouth, we say, man, you talking that? Yes. Right. Go ahead.
But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defiles not a man.
Right. What we have to understand is Yahweh's ways are not our ways. Yahweh will make you closer by something that everybody else believes is going to tear you apart. When Hurricane Katrina happened, a large group of New Orleans people showed up in other cities. These same people were fighting each other at home. Yahweh, through this hurricane, kicked them out of their home. When they arrived into other cities, they became united. They and the other people in those cities ended up in some serious problems. Sometimes he brings you together by bringing something foreign and sitting it in between you. We oftentimes pray for strength, but then get angry when a weight is placed upon us. Let's go to Psalms chapter 66. See, it sounds like a good request. We said, Yahweh, give me strength. So you grab 200 pounds and sit it on your chest. And then you start crying. And he lets you cry. So you cry for the first 5 days. Then as soon as you get tired of crying, you start pushing. You screaming, you doing all that. And you finally get up. Boom, you get it up off you. And he says, well done, my son. Now do it 9 more times and you got to sit. Read, man.
So, Psalms chapter 66 and verse 10. For you, O Elohim, has proved us. You have tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net. You laid affliction upon our loins. You have caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, but you brought us out into a wealthy place. I will go into your house with burnt offerings. I'll pay you my vows.
I will go into your house with burnt offerings. I will pay you my vows. Understand? I'm going to pay you. I am going to keep that which I said. Keep reading.
Which my lips have uttered, and my mouth has spoken when I was in trouble.
Now, wait a minute. Now, do you remember what you said when your soul was in trouble? See, we say all kind of things when our soul is in trouble. And then, once we get established, we start rolling back those things. Well, you know what? I didn't mean that per se. I mean say per. What are you talking about? Well, things is different now things are different now. You're not in trouble anymore. See, Yahweh is going to measure the man by what you are going to do when you was in trouble. Understand something? Yahweh will bring the trouble just to make sure you make the vow. And sometimes we're trying to get out of the vow before we even finish making it. I promise, I believe, I am sure, I think. What? Go ahead.
I'll offer unto you burnt sacrifices of fatlings with the incense of rams. I'll offer bullocks with goats. Come and hear, all you that fear Elohim, and I'll declare what he has done for my soul. I cried unto him with my mouth, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I regarded lawlessness to my heart, the Adonai will not hear me. But verily, Elohim has heard me. He has attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be Elohim, which has not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me.
So now, we have to consider something. The adversary of the devil is there accusing us day and night. Yahweh is a covenant Elohim. Think about all the things that we have agreed to. Now, what do you think Lucifer is saying when he makes accusation against you? We agree to stuff, we don't even write it down. We don't even remember what we said. So then when it comes back, you agreed to this. Now understand, the angel has a writer's ink on. He not, ain't no arguing with him about, I ain't say that. But that's what we do all the time. I ain't say that. The angel not even having that discussion like, no, I wrote that down. I know exactly what you said. I know exactly what you agreed to. And see, this is customary for us, when we get in trouble. And for those before, when you have your first hangover and you drink too much, everybody offers that same dumb thing. I promise God, if you let me live, I ain't never going to get drunk again. Because you ain't never felt nothing like that before. See? When you get that first hangover, you done went past your limit. And your head throbbing, you done threw up a couple times. Oh, then you got all manner of sadness in your body. And now you go to making promises. Promise. I swear, if you just let me live, I won't drink no more ever again. And 2 weeks later, we said, I know what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong. I should have ate some chicken before I did all that drinking. Right. We still the same old chips off the block. We the same old folk who just keep the Sabbath now. That's all it is. We doing the same old thing. We ain't changed. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 31. The next time I enter into a covenant, I'm going to bring some church's chicken. See, that grease soaks up the alcohol. Right. Okay. Jeremiah chapter 31, and let's start at verse 31.
Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Yehudah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, says Yahweh.
Not according to that covenant. That covenant they already break. They done broke that one. But Yahweh says, I'm going to renew my covenant with Israel. Go ahead.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, says Yahweh, I'll put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I'll be their El, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, says Yahweh. For I'll forgive their lawlessness, and I will remember their sin no more. Thus says Yahweh, which gives the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divides the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, says Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus says Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, says Yahweh. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that the city shall be built to Yahweh from the tower of Hananeel unto the gate of the corner. And the measuring line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill Garib, and shall compass about Goath, and the whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and all the fields unto the brook of Kidron, unto the corner of the horse gate toward the east, shall be holy unto Yah. It shall not be plucked up nor thrown down any more forever.
All right. Now let's go to Ezekiel chapter 16. Ezekiel chapter 16, and let's start at verse 1.
Again the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus says the Adonai Elohim unto Jerusalem.
Now, he says, cause her to know her abominations. Why don't she know it? See, after a while, we normalize things, and they no longer seem like abominable acts. If you go back one generation, the things that are normally displayed on television now, they would have burnt down the television station for that 40 years ago. Now it's on regular television with no warning. Okay. So now her abominations don't seem abominable to her because she has other people around her that has normalized such behavior. Go ahead.
Your father was an Amorite and your mother was an Hittite. And as for your nativity, in the day that you was born, your navel was not cut, neither was you washed in water to supple you. You was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. None I pitied you to do any of these unto you, to have compassion upon you. But you was cast out into the open field, to the loathing of your person, in the day that you was born.
Now, if we start bringing up how we met one another, people would say, y'all, now you're just going back to the past and causing problems. I was like, no. I need you to remember where you came from. You see, you done forgot. You thought you came to me with all this together. This ain't how you showed up. So let's go take a little brief look in the past, and let's see how you was when I got with you. Go ahead.
And when I passed by you and saw you polluted in your own blood.
When I passed by you and saw you polluted in your own blood. Now you done forgot about that now. Go ahead.
I said unto you when you was in your blood, live. Yes, I said unto you when you was in your blood, live. I have caused you to multiply as the bud of the field, and you have increased and waxen great, and you are come to excellent ornaments. Your breasts are fashioned, and your hair is grown, whereas you was naked and bare.
He said your hair's grown, whereas you was naked and bare. We don't remember when we were bald head, naked and bare. We done forgot. Go ahead.
Now when I passed by you and looked upon you, behold, your time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over you and covered your nakedness.
Wait a minute. He says, I'm going to be a covering over unto you. Not when you was in your beauty. When you was bald head and naked, he said, I'm going to be a covering unto you. Go ahead.
I swear unto you and entered into a covenant with you, says the Adonai Elohim, and you became mine. Then washed I you with water. Yes, I thoroughly washed away your blood from you, and I anointed you with oil. I clothed you also with broidered work, and shod you with badger skin, and I girded you about with fine linen, and I covered you with silk. I decked you also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon your hands, and and a chain on your neck.
Wait a minute. Yahweh said, look here, I didn't start establishing you. Go ahead.
And I put a jewel on your forehead, and earrings in your ears, and a beautiful crown upon your head.
Wait a minute. Yahweh said, you went from bald head and naked to bracelets and crowns. But here is also the problem. See, when the solution is also the problem, we have greatly caused a division between us and our Elohim. Go ahead.
Thus was you decked with gold and silver, and your raiment was of fine linen and silk, embroidered work. You did eat fine flour and honey and oil, and you was exceeding beautiful, and you did prosper into a kingdom.
Now you have gotten beautiful. You got gold and silver. You got bracelets. You got crowns. You got all of these things. Go ahead.
And your renown went forth among the heathen for your beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon you, says the Adonai Elohim.
That's the thing you can't put a price on, his comeliness. And see, we can go and see the price of the bracelets. We can see the price of the crowns. We can see the price of the chains and the mufflers, the bonnets. But the comeliness, no, you can't buy that. You can't even put no price on that. That's something he placed upon us. And if we operate in a wrong manner, he takes that back. And once you take that, everything else is going to disappear too. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, Elder, but verse 5 seems like we're just right back in that position.
Right. Well, I mean, how else you get a wife to re-enter into the vows? She's not going to go back into those vows if she has everybody else in her ear telling her, girl, you need to be doing that. If I was you, let me tell you something. I would be putting up with that. Yeah, I would say, all right, I'm going to set you over here by yourself. So that you remember what it was you agreed to in this vow. None, I pitied you. But the problem is, we got to hit all the way rock bottom just to begin the discussion. If we wouldn't be so hard, that wouldn't have to happen to us. Go ahead.
But you did trust in your own beauty.
There you go.
And played the harlot. Because of your renown, and poured out your fornications on everyone that passed by, as it was. And of your garments you did take, and decked your high places with divers colors, and played the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. You has also taken my fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given you, and made to yourself images of men, and did commit whoredom with them, and tooketh your broidered garments, and covered them, and you have set mine oil and mine incense before them. My meat also which I gave you, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed you, you have even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, says the Adonai Elohim. Moreover, you have taken my sons and my daughters, whom you have borne unto me, and these have you sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of your whoredoms a small matter? That you have slain my children, and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them? And in all your abominations and your whoredoms, you have not remembered the days of your youth, when you was naked and bare and was polluted in your blood.
Just so you understand, this ain't me talking. Yahweh go right back. Wait a minute. You done forgot. You done remember. You got all of these things, but you forgot how I found you. Naked and covered in your own blood. Now we said, no, I went to school and got this education. I got these things for myself. So to prove it to you, you realize you're only giving them one choice, right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass after all your wickedness, woe unto you, says the Adonai Elohim, that you have also built unto you an eminent place, and have made you an high place in every street. You have built...
Where you at?
Verse 25.
Okay.
You have built your high place at every head of the way, and has made your beauty to be abhorred, and have opened your feet to everyone that passed by, and multiplied your whoredoms. You have also committed fornication with the Egyptians, your neighbors, great of flesh, and have increased your whoredoms to provoke me to anger.
Right. Understand, Yahweh looks at our keeping of other people's culture and worshiping their God the same way as a man would look at a woman committing adultery with another man. But see, we'll go off into other things. This is why we like these other worship practices. This is how we're drawn to these other events, because when you go to these other events, they allow you to play around in their whoredom. When you go in those places, say, well, you know, we can go to those places, they don't have no rules and regulations. See, I can go in there, I can wear all my makeup, I can go in there and look like a full, flat-footed whore. They don't have no restrictions in there. They don't ask me, well, I'm clean or unclean. They just let me come as I am. Right? And we're attracted to that. And we just don't see how Yahweh saw it. This is why we thought and believe that those things ain't that bad. Go ahead.
Behold, therefore I've stretched out my hand over you, and have diminished your ordinary food, and delivered you onto the will of them that hate you.
Wait a minute now. She went from having everything. Now, he finna start cutting down your food. You know, as wonderful as a Rolex watch is, you know, when you hungry, it don't mean jack. When them stomach pains start hitting and you start hearing all in your stomach, you know you can't look at the Rolex and say, that's a diamond on the number 3. You know you still hungry. You know you can't look at your bracelets and say, oh my goodness, these are fine pieces of jewelry. When you hungry, don't none of that matter. I hope we understand what we're forcing him to do. And when you force his hand, please don't act surprised when he operates that way. Please don't ask the question, how did I end up here? You know exactly how you ended up there. Go ahead.
The daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of your lewd way. You have played the whore also with the Assyrians, because you was unsatiable. Yes, you have played the harlot with them, and yet could not be satisfied.
Could not be satisfied. See, this is us. This is us. If you just give me that Corolla, I'm going to be happy. He give us the Corolla. I swear, God, if you just give me that 318 IS, I will be satisfied. He give us that. You know what? If you give me that G-Wagon, I swear for God. Right? And the truth is, when you're insatiable, it don't matter what change you make. You're going to renegotiate that which you did and make it unsatisfactory so that you can request more. What do you think commercials are designed to do? They are designed to make you desire something other than what you're already having. You watching television and you eating some chips. In between that show comes on a commercial that says, no, you don't need to be eating those chips. What you need is some Ritz crackers. See? So you need the deluxe crackers. Now, you don't even want to finish the show no more. You're, baby, press pause. Why? Because I got to go get some crackers. Now, where did that thought come from? They pay people millions of dollars to find a way to seduce your mind. If it didn't work, they would not be paying millions of dollars to marketing firms. You think these people are in business to give money away? They have found that it works. Just so you know, Lucifer is in charge of marketing. Where we at, bro?
Verse 43.
All right. Verse 43.
Because you have not remembered the days of your youth, but have fretted me in all these things.
Here we go again. Because you have not remembered the days of your youth. What was the days of your youth? Hey, how were you when I entered into a covenant with you? See, we don't understand. Yahweh is going to bring all of that back. But what happens is, after we accomplish some things, we like to forget where we were. Go ahead.
But have fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore, I also will recompense your way upon your head, says the Adon Elohim, and you shall not commit this lewdness above all your abominations. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against you, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. You are your mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband and her children, and you are the sister of your sisters, which loathes their husbands and their children. Your mother was an Hittite, and your father an Amorite.
Now, what does he keep meaning by this? Earlier, he says your nativity was a Canaanite, Amorite, Hittite. What is he talking about? Go back and find out where Israel was given their land. Whose land was it before that? You ever ask yourself, what would have happened if Canaan obeyed? If they wasn't rotten, where would we be? And what happened if we decide that we not going to clean up? Would there be 12 tribes or something else? Go ahead.
Your elder sister is Samaria, she and her daughters that dwell at your left hand. And your younger sister that dwells at your right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Yet have you not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations. But as if that were a very little thing, you was corrupted more than they in all your ways. As I live, says the Adon Elohim, Sodom your sister has not done, she nor her daughters, as you have done, you and your daughters. Behold, this was the lawlessness of your sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her. It was in her and her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy.
And you know these are the things that we desire. Fullness of bread and idleness of time. If we said, look, I want to win, I want to hit lotto. That way I have money, but then I won't have to get up to go to work. What leads us in destruction? We got fullness of bread. We can eat whatever it is we want, but we don't have to spend no time to go get it. Now the idleness of time sitting around while we're not working is now attacking our mind. Some folks don't realize that they need to be busy 23 hours out of 24. Because the minute they stop being busy, here comes Satan. I bet you won't do this. I bet you won't. Go ahead.
And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Neither has Samaria committed half your sins, but you have multiplied your abominations more than they, and have justified your sisters in all your abominations which you have done. You also, which has judged your sisters, bear your own shame for your sins that you have committed more abominable than they. They are more righteous than you. Yes, be you confounded also, and bear your shame, in that you have justified your sisters. When I shall bring again their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Samaria and her daughters, then will I bring again the captivity of your captives in the midst of them, that you mayest bear your own shame, and mayest be confounded in all that you have done, and that you are a comfort unto them.
That you may bear your own shame and may be confounded in all that you have done. The problem is making Israel see that. Because we spend all our time trying to convince ourselves. It's one thing to lie to other people, But what we do something even more grievous. We lie to ourselves. I ain't did nothing wrong. Go ahead.
When your sisters, Sodom and her daughters, shall return to their former estate, and Samaria and her daughters shall return to their former estate, then you and your daughters shall return to your former estate. For your sister Sodom was not mentioned by your mouth in the day of your pride. Before your wickedness was discovered, as at the time of your reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that are round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise you round about.
Now, you're going to have to deal with this word reproach here. Was discovered as at the time of your reproach. What is your reproach? Keep reading.
You have borne your lewdness and your abominations, says Yah. For thus says the Adonai Elohim, I will even deal with you as you have done, which has despised the oath and breaking the covenant.
For Yahweh says, I will even deal with you as you have done. What have you done? Well, then you surely should understand what he's going to do to you. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, I'll remember my covenant with you in the days of your youth, and I'll establish unto you an everlasting covenant.
I'm going to remember the covenant with you that I made in the days of your youth. Not any renegotiated covenant. Understand something. We do all of this just to get back what we already had. We act the fool. We doing all of this and we think it's going to make something better. All it's going to do is Yahweh going to leave you out there longer. We think, it's like when you see those kids at the store that you can tell they done check their parents because they get to hollering, "Ah!" and the parents, well, here, take the Snicker bar in. Hush. Like, yeah, he done checked y'all. When you get one of them old school parents, and you get in that aisle at Walmart, you see that Snicker bar, you say, if I don't get this Snicker bar, I'm going to act a fool. Ah! And that mama hit you right there in the throat. Bow! You ain't got to worry about that Snicker bar because you can't even breathe. You trying to get your breath back right. Try to show out again. Show out again. Now, you ain't going to threaten them into giving you what it is you want. Now, that works somewhere else. Go ahead.
Then you shall remember your ways and be ashamed, when you shall receive your sisters, your elder, and your younger, and I'll give them unto you for daughters, but not by your covenant. And I'll establish my covenant with you, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. That you may remember and be confounded, and never open your mouth anymore because of your shame.
Check this out. Never open your mouth again. He said, shut your mouth. There's some things that we don't understand. That you will never open your mouth again for your shame. What is he going to cause you to see about you? That you will be humbled enough to keep your mouth closed. What all does he have to do for you to close your mouth? Because see, some of us, it takes a lot for us to stop talking. As long as we think we got something, we keep going. Yakety, yak, 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 yak. What is it going to take for you to stop talking? What are you going to have to pull out that bag? And see, a lot of times we talking because we don't know what all is in the bag. So we keep talking, and we don't understand the bag is deep. Because Yahweh can go back to your beginnings, and you keep talking. And then sooner or later, he pulls something out that bag, and you realize, oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that right there. Oh, you know what? I'm a Hirsch. I'm a Hirsch now. I'm a Hirsch. Yahweh, I didn't even know you remember that. I forgot that was even in that bag. I'm a Hirsch. Right. I remember doing a forum with an individual, and they was talking. They were bold. They were and they were talking. They were doing a whole lot of barking. I got to the last page. I said, now look here. How we gonna handle the rest of this depends on this next question here, because you've been doing a lot of barking the whole time we've been in this forum. Now, right here, I have some messages that you sent some other individuals, regarding some of your intent. Now, how you answer this next thing, we're going to either go through these or we can go ahead and cut this thing. Let's get to the ending. How can we get past this? All of a sudden, they was like, hush. I don't want to discuss that. Right. You keep pushing, and he go get something out the bag that you don't want to come out that bag. Stop thinking and talking bold like you ain't got nothing in that bag. You got something in that bag that you don't want to come out that bag, but keep running your mouth, and it's coming out of that bag. Oh, yeah, brother.
And when I'm pacified toward you for all that you have done, says the Adonai Elohim.
All right, let's go to Isaiah chapter 3. It's quite arrogant for us to believe that Yahweh done forgot what's in the bag. You know how arrogant that is? How he gonna forget what's in the bag? But after a while, we start getting comfortable about what's in that bag. All right. Isaiah chapter 3, and let's start at verse 16.
Moreover, Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, therefore the Adonai will smite the scab, the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
Wait a minute. Now he said, I put a crown on your head. Now, after the haughtiness, he says, I'm going to smite the very crown that I gave you. He said, I put a crown on your head. Go ahead.
And Yahweh will discover their secret parts.
Wait a minute. He gave you all these fancy clothes to cover your secret parts. But remember now, he says he found you covered in your blood and naked. What did he say? I'm going to strip you back to how I found you. Weren't you naked when I found you? All right, well, there it is. Go ahead.
In that day, the Adonai will take away the bravery of your tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cowls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, and the bracelets, and the mufflers, the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses.
He says, I'm going to take away the changeable suits of apparel. We the only people that have a walk-in closet and walk in and say, I ain't got nothing to wear. It's a walk-in closet. You walked in the closet. You walking around in the closet. But say, I ain't got nothing to wear in this closet. When he give you 2 outfits, you will never again say, I ain't got nothing to wear. Be careful running off at the mouth. At least he answered that, and you don't like the way he answered. So you got 50 outfits, but you ain't got nothing to wear. All right, let's cut it down to 2. Now, can you figure it out, my child?
I think I figured it out, Yahweh.
Yeah, all right. Keep running off at your mouth. You're going to shut your mouth for your shame. Right. Go ahead, priest.
The glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. It shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
Oh, yeah, we love that Bath and Body Works. Spend all kind of money on. Oh, yeah, we like that. Oh, we just decide what kind of fruit we're going to smell like today. Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, don't nobody want to smell like dragon fruit, though. He said, yeah. I got an answer for you. You might not like how he answered it, though. Go ahead.
And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Now, when that baldness set in, I guarantee you we won't have no more questions about whether or not I should cover my head. Oh, they're going to take care of that business.
I don't want to cover my head.
You had the hardest time you have with people.
I don't want to cover my head. God gave me a covering of beauty. I want to put my beauty and show it to the world.
start having a problem.
You know what? Where you get those coverings from?
Oh, you mean how he wanted you to cover yourself anyway? Oh, you mean like that? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Your men shall fall by the sword, and your mighty in the war.
If your men fall by the sword, what do you think? He has hit your crown twice. He is your head. He is your crown. He attacks him, then attacks your natural crown. You got hit crown twice. Go ahead.
And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach.
All right. Now, the question now that we must ask. Now, the modern day woman believes that she can go to Yahweh without her believing husband. She is dead wrong. Why do these women need the name of Israel from that man to take away their reproach? If they could take away their own reproach, they would have just gone straight to Yahweh. The Apostle Paul, even being spoken to by Yahshua, had to go to the man who was in authority before he could begin his ministry. He couldn't just go to Yahweh. Paul had reproach. How? He assaulted other believers. Now, he had to work off that reproach. Do you understand how easy it is to have reproach? A woman having been married to more than one man in her life could be her reproach. You have some women that have babies by 2 and 3 men and still run off at the mouth to the man that they have in the word. Do you not know that that man is your salvation? Without that man, you're waking up in the lake of fire. What do you think he said in the garden when he says, your desire shall be to your husband? What does that mean? Yahweh came to the garden looking for him. Yeshua would not give the woman living water until he asked her to call her husband. Why did he ask that? Her desire will be to him. Okay, what does she desire? Her desire was to get closer to Elohim. Why do you think she ate from the tree to start with? Well, now he says your desire is going to be to him. To get to Elohim, you got to go through him. So now you got the through way to their salvation, and they running off at the mouth to the very person who can take away their reproach. This modern day going to get you tore up. This modern day going to get you tore up. You need to be careful how you speak to that man in the word. This is why some women want to go and find them some old or something that's on the side of the road. They're like,
I ain't got to treat him no kind of way.
But understand, you got a man in the word, and you done already gathered some reproach from your previous dealings. You need to be careful how you run off at the mouth to him. Let's go to Judges chapter 11. Judges chapter 11, and let's start at verse 29.
And the Spirit of Yahweh came upon Jephthah, and he passed over Gilead and Manasseh, and passed over Mizpah of Gilead. And from Mizpah of Gilead he passed over onto the children of Ammon.
You know, brother, when you try to keep people away from getting reproach, you get into a lot of trouble. You try to stop your folks from running out, hanging and doing stuff. They said, you're trying to stop me from living. No, I'm trying to stop you from getting reproach. Because see, when you get reproach, you don't have a straight path to Yahweh. Now you got to go through somebody else. But you're trying to stop them, and they said, you're trying to stop me from living. No, I'm trying to stop you from dying. It's a difference. Go ahead, Bree.
And Jephthah vowed a vow unto Yah, and said, If you shall without fear deliver the children of Ammon into my hands, then it shall be, that whatsoever comes forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be Yah's. And I'll offer it up for a burnt offering.
Now, we know what Jephthah meant. But what we have to deal with what Jephthah said. See, this is where we like to, this is our perfect place where we're about to renegotiate the vow. See, so now we're going to try to go between what we said and what we meant. No. What did you say? What was the vow? What did you agree to? Go ahead.
So you have to pass over unto the children of Ammon to fight against them, and Yahweh delivered them into his hands. And he smote them from Aror even till you come to Minnith, even 20 cities, and onto the plain of the vineyards with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpah, unto his house. And behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child.
Now, this should have been a joyous moment. But his mouth said, whatever come out that gate to meet me, I'm sacrificing it unto my Elohim. What comes out? His only daughter. Now, there's the vow about what he meant, and there's the vow about what he said. Which one you think Yahweh gonna hold you to? What did your mouth say when you was in trouble? Pray.
Beside her he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass, when he saw her, that he rent his clothes, and said, Alas, my daughter, you have brought me very low.
She has brought him very low. Came out with timbrels to sing to him, to dance to him. She's ready to see her daddy, but he is brought low. Why? Because of what came out of his mouth. We don't think we held to what came out of our mouth. Go ahead.
And you are one of them that trouble me. For I've opened my mouth unto Yahweh, and I cannot go back.
And I cannot go back. Finish that for me.
And she said unto him, My father, if you have opened your mouth unto Yahweh, do to me according to that which you have proceeded out of your mouth. For as much as Yahweh had taken vengeance for you of your enemies, even of the children of Ammon. And she said unto her father, Let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains, and bewail my virginity, I and my fellows. And he said, Go. And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her companions, and bewailed her virginity upon the mountains. And it came to pass at the end of 2 months, that she returned unto her father, who did with her according to his vow which he had vowed. And she knew no man, and it was a custom in Israel, that the daughters of Israel went yearly to lament the daughter of Jephthah the Gileadite 4 days in a year.
Right. Now we know 2 months with one of the daughters of Eve, and that 2 months was a head start. She is out of here, Jack. You understand? All right. Do understand the difference, but I also want you to pay attention to how people take things and mix and match them. Now go back to our class about the lamb being offered and the whole story. The story was, I got to sacrifice you. It was a so-called a dream of Abraham. And instead of Esaac, it had Ishmael in it. Now the dream, he said he was going to have to sacrifice him, and he agreed. They took this part of this story, merged it with what happened in Genesis, and then changed the character from Esau to Ishmael. Just so you understand what happened. You got to be careful reading this book and drinking. It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. You start mixing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It can be dangerous. All right? If you're going to drink, put the book down. All right? Don't do those together. All right? Just a word to the wise. All right, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 8. The whole time I was reading it, it's like bits and pieces kept sounding familiar. What is this? Right. Because they took a bit from this story, a bit from this story, a bit from this story, and then mixed them all together. That was some real Kaiser Sose right there. Just put it all together. Make it up. 1 Samuel chapter 8, let's start at verse 1.
And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, you are old, and your sons walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased Samuel, when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Right. He says they have not rejected you. Don't take this personal. This is about me. But because you are a servant of Yahweh, you're going to have to take the indignation that people have against him. See, people have indignation against Yahweh's word. They're going to come to a servant of his and display that indignation. They're never going to stand in the rain and say, Yahweh, I'm calling on you. I got a problem with you. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to display that on the first servant they see. Go ahead.
According to all the works they have done, since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, whereas they have forsaken me, and served other gods, so do they also unto you. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of king that shall reign over them.
Right. Israel, she goes and asks for a king. Other people start telling her, let me tell you something about what's going to happen when you get this king. Yahweh said, now make sure you go tell her now. Make sure you give her a testimony of what it's going to be. But you know how we are when we want what we want. We didn't even hear the bad thing. We want that brand new BMW. They said, look here, let me tell you something. Now, this version has a bad fuel injector. I didn't even hear it. I said, nevertheless, give it to me. They said, look here, this one, when you turn in the curve and you're going fast, you might flip over. I said, I don't hear what you're saying. I said, I want it. I said, give it me now. Where are the papers? I done signed them already. I ain't even seen them. Okay, go ahead.
And Samuel told all the words of Yahweh unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself for his chariots and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50s, and will set them to air his ground and to reap his harvest and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots.
Understand, the king ain't got time to do all this stuff himself, so he got to get somebody to do it. Go ahead.
And he will take your daughters to be his confectionaries, and to be his cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields, and your vineyards, and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed, and your vineyards, and give to his officers, and to his servants. And he will take your men servants, and your maid servants, and your goodliest young men, and your asses, and put them to his work. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and you shall be his servants. And you shall cry out in that day because of your king which you shall have chosen you. And Yahweh will not hear you in that day.
Yahweh will not hear you in that day when you cry because of the king that you asked for. Now I'm going to tell you what it's going to be like. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel.
Nevertheless, the people refused. We ain't trying to hear none of that. I said we want what we want. Go ahead.
And they said, no, but we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations.
Here go, well, we want what we see. Now, we're not worried about the covenant that we agreed to. Now we want to renegotiate that covenant because now I see how the nations operate. They got somebody over them. They have a king that covers them. I want to be like them. Go ahead.
That we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us, and go out before us, and fight our battles.
Uh-huh.
And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of Yah. And Yahweh said to Samuel, hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, go you every man unto his house, unto his city, pardon me.
All right. So let's go to 1 John chapter 2. As we see, it says, Yahweh says, it's not you that they have a problem with, it's me. So the covenant has been now renegotiated because we have seen something else. Now because we see what's possible, now we want what we've seen that is now coming to our eyesight. 1 John chapter 2, and let's start that at verse 1.
My little children, these things write unto you, that you sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Yahshua HaMashiach the righteous. And he is the propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the sins of the whole world. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that says, I know him, and keeps not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso keeps his word, in him verily is the love of Elohim perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. He that says he abides in him ought himself also to walk, even as he walked. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which you had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which you have heard from the beginning. Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past and the true light now shines. He that says he is in the light and hates his brother is in darkness even until now. He that loves his brother abides in the light, and there's not an occasion of stumbling in him.
Right. Why do you hate your brother? What is it that causes the schism between you and your brother? Why do you hate your sister? What is it that causes the schism between you and your sister? Now, are you going to be honest with yourself, or are you going to lie to yourself about what the real cause is? Because see, sometimes the real cause, we can't say it out loud. So we got to grab at something else that seems tangible. Because the real reason is not tangible. Go ahead.
But he that hates his brother is in darkness, and walks in darkness, and knows not whither he goes, because that darkness has blinded his eyes. I write unto you, little children, because your sins are forgiven you for his name's sake. I write unto you, fathers, because you have known him that is from the beginning. I write unto you, young men, because you have overcome the wicked one. I write unto you, little children, because you have known the Father. I have written unto you, fathers, because you have known him that is from the beginning. I have written unto you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of Elohim abides in you, and you have overcome the wicked one. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
So it's the things of the world that causes us to renegotiate our covenant. We see one thing, we remember the covenant that we made, but then we go out in the world, and then the lust of the eyes says, you mean to tell me this is possible out here in heathen land? I want this. Now we got to come back to Yahweh. Yahweh, now you remember those things that I had said when my soul was in trouble. Can we have a deeper conversation about that? I'd like to discuss that a little further. Right. Go ahead.
And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that does the will of Elohim abides forever.
All right. Let's go to Exodus chapter 15. So you find it's the reason why Yahweh keeps saying, you know, that covenant that you made in the days of your youth. You know, that covenant that you made when you was in trouble. He said, I don't want that covenant that you made with yourself now that you're happy. Now that you got fullness of bread. Now that you have idleness of time. I don't want that covenant. That covenant is already tainted. I want the one when you had a broken and contrite spirit. Talk to me about that one. That's the one I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about that covenant you want to make today. So you want to make that covenant because your bank account look good. See, you talk a little different when your bank account 1000 swolled up. You talk different. You come to the table.
All right, yes. So when we gonna do this thing?
Huh? Speaking with your chest. See, when you pull up that Bank of America app and it say you owe us $65. You not only do you not have no money in here, but you owe us. You know, when you go to that negotiating table, you go and you say, I come, sir. Yeah. See, he want to see that person. He don't want to see the new knuckle. See, the new knuckle you done turned into with a little change in your pocket. You act different. No. He want to see that one that showed up. What that one at? Give me that one. Which version of you is Yahweh looking to see? Okay. Exodus chapter 15. And let's start at verse 1.
Then sang Moshe and the children of Israel this song unto Yahweh, and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yahweh, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea. Yahweh is my strength and song, and he's become my salvation. He is my El, and I'll prepare him an habitation, my father's El, and I'll exalt him. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts as he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They have sank into the bottom as a stone. Your right hand, O Yahweh, is become glorious in power. Your right hand, O Yahweh, is dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of your excellency, you have overthrown them that rose up against you. You have sent forth your wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You did blow with your hand, with your wind. The sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto you, O Yahweh, among the gods? Who is like unto you, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? You stretchest out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. You in your mercy have led forth the people which you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength unto your holy habitation.
Now, understand now, it says, then sang Moshe and the children of Israel this song. Just look at how many words in this song. And think about the songs that we sing today and how dramatic they are drawn out. These songs got a lot of words. So they say in this day and age, you know, lyrics have died. Yahweh was about them lyrics. Look how many words in this song. Matter of fact, I want to ask y'all something. What the hook? What the chorus part at? What a part that he keep repeating over and over for dramatization factor. Where that at? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. The dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of your arm they shall be as still as a stone, till your people pass over, O Yahweh, till the people pass over which you have purchased. You shall bring them in.
I'm sorry. I need you to read the last line one more time.
O Yahweh, till the people pass over which you have purchased.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, there's a thing people would say, you've been bought with a price. It sounds all real nice when we say it until you understand, you do owe something for that. All right, go ahead.
You shall bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Yahweh, which you have made for you to dwell in the sanctuary, O Adonai, which your hands have established. Yahweh shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and Yahweh brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing you to Yahweh, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea.
Now, when you look at the power that Miriam possesses, I don't know what she prophesied because I ain't seen nothing in this book, the reason why she would be called a prophetess. Now, I know that Yahweh has a tendency to deal with a family. So you got Moses, all right? You got Aaron, all right? Now, Miriam does her dances with the tambourine, with the timbrel. She now leads all the women. So she has an enormous amount of power within this setting. Okay? Now let's go to our Numbers chapter 12. Now you have to be careful with the power that you have, because if you use that power the wrong way, Yahweh has to take that power and give it to somebody else. It says, where or what did you do with the talent that he gave unto you? Some said, I took that talent and I multiplied it and now I have more talents. Other people say, I took that talent, I dug a hole, and I put your talent in the earth. Numbers chapter 12, and let's start at verse 1.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moshe because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Has Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moshe? Has he not spoken also by us? And Yahweh heard it. Now the man Moshe was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
Now understand something. Miriam has a personal problem with Moshe. Okay? But now she's taken her personal problem and used that issue to attack his position with Yahweh. She has a personal problem with her brother because of a personal decision that he has made for his life. She now questions his ability to do his job because of her personal issue with him. And what we do, we go and express that to other people. And sometimes we think we're being slick when we do it. No. You have spoken against a servant of the Most High because of a personal problem that you have with him. Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moshe and unto Aaron and unto Miriam. Come out, you three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moshe is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches.
Now, what you have to notice in Yahweh's conversation, he didn't talk about the Ethiopian woman at all. The problem that she so-called has with him is not even in Yahweh's vocabulary. How he do his job.
Well, see, he had got that woman, and then him and that woman.
How he do the job.
But then, and then that woman, she front.
How he do the job.
But then what had happened was,
how he do the job. was forced to live among them people for 40 years. Nobody takes that into consideration. Correct?
And the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moshe?
Why were you not afraid to speak against his servant? That's the question. That was like, we're not finna talk about the woman, where she is, where she come from, what hood she from, what set she claim. We're not even talking about that. I want to know, how is it you were not afraid to open your mouth? Go ahead.
And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam...
Wait a minute. Cloud departed. What happened? Now, listen. Because somebody ran off at the mouth, the spirit now comes off of the tabernacle. The spirit moved because somebody decided they had a personal problem and they needed to air it out. The spirit didn't leave one person. The spirit came off the tabernacle. That's the whole body. Go ahead.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moshe, Alas, my master, I beseech you, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb. And Moshe cried unto Yahweh, saying, Heal her now, O Elohim, I beseech you. And Yahweh said unto Moshe,
Stop. So, the very man who has the ability to get her protection and saved is the very man who she was running off at the mouth talking against. We don't understand what we be doing. See, because we go out in the earth and they say all of these things and it seems okay, we don't understand what's happening. We open our mouth wide on the very ones who are responsible to take care of that salvation. Who does she get any of this power through? That comes because of who Moshe is. And that's the very one who she spoke against. What do you think happens in the household? See, we worry about who made the most money. Yahweh said, I don't give a damn who made the most money. Who the head of that house? He said, your desire shall be to your husband. And people think, well, the New Testament different. All right, well, why Yahshua said, you want that living water? Go call your husband and come back here. Why he ain't said, you an independent woman? Come on in here and let's get this thing done. And glory be to God. Why ain't say that? Okay. Go ahead, Bree.
If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days. And after that, let her be received in again.
Right. In other words, Yahweh said, I'm not going to let this go unpunished. She opened her mouth because of whatever personal reason she had. I'm going to have to take care of that. Wait a minute. Who all she said that to? Remember now, all the women look up to her. When she came out in the dances, all the women followed her. Wait a minute. If he don't do them, he going to have a problem with all them women who doing the dancing. Sometimes we don't understand that we're forcing Yahweh's hand. At this point, he's like, Miriam, you sat in a seat too high for me not to do something. Now you open your mouth and you said something, and now I got to do something. Even though your brother here, who loves you dearly, is standing in the breach for you, I can't let him stand in the breach for you because you sit in a place where they look up to you. If I don't let something happen to you, they will be emboldened to do the same thing. Go ahead.
And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again.
All right, brothers, you finished that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we encounter great falls and we act as if we don't know why those issues came upon us. We attempt to take the fake high road and attribute our issues onto some other reason. We must understand that there are great consequences to making accusations against servants of the Most High. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 30. Proverbs chapter 30, and I want you to read verses 5 through 14.
Every word of Elohim is pure. He's a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
Right. Yahweh know how to judge between cattle and cattle. He will turn around and deal with two servants at the same time. One servant that spoke against one servant and another servant that spoke against somebody else. So now he'll deal with that servant who spoke against you, but then deal with you because you spoke against another servant. Yahweh don't be playing. He don't be playing. Go ahead.
Add you not unto his words, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. Two things have I required of you, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food convenient for me.
Why? Why? See, we don't understand how powerful this is. See, this is how some of us have gotten so hardy. We wasn't that hardy when we came up to Yahweh naked and bare and covered in our blood. When we were bald-headed, we didn't come up to Yahweh like that. Now, what has caused us to be so bold and that mouth is so fluid now? Read.
Lest I be full and deny you
Uh-huh.
and say, who is Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my Elohim in vain.
There you go right there. See? We get full and then we deny him. How we deny him? We break the very covenant that we made when we was in trouble. That's how we deny him. We say all that stuff when we want help for our soul. Didn't he give us that? And now all of a sudden we got a problem with everything. Right. You done got full. And you understand what you're asking him. I can't handle all this stuff. Please take this away from me so that I can have peace with you again. I got too many cars. I have too many clothes. I keep going in my bank account and there ain't no minus sign on it. I don't know how to act this way. I'm used to seeing the number in the red. I'm not used to this. Take this from me so that I can have peace with you. That's what you're saying. I don't know what you think you're saying, but I'm telling you what you're saying. Go ahead, Bree.
Accuse not his servant unto his master, lest he curse you, and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses their father and does not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness.
In their eyes, they are so clean. You know, when you're in your house and you finna, you know what I'm saying, recycle one of those garments, and you say, I'm gonna wear this because I ain't do that much in this one. Come on now, come on. I ain't the only one did that. I ain't the only one did that. And then you say in your house, it look fine. And then you step out and that sun hit it.
And you be like, oh my goodness, what is that?
It's too late. You done left the house. And you got to walk around. And everybody gonna ask you all day,
What you do right here? Well, that happened the last time I wore it.
Go ahead, Britt.
There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men.
If their teeth are as swords and their jaw teeth are as knives, what are they doing? They're speaking against people harshly. You have to remember something. Now, Yeshua says, do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moshe, in whom you trust. So what is the accusation coming from? The law. He said, I don't need to accuse you. I'm not going to do that. I don't need to accuse you. Let's go to Jude chapter 1. And I want you to read verses 6 through 12. That book easy to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on 13:28.
1328?
Yeah.
Thank you. Jude chapter 1 and verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
Now, the first thing you have to pay attention to, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. Where they go?
They said, look, I don't like these rules and regulations. I'm out of here.
Go ahead.
Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication, and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moshe, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, the Adonai rebuke you.
Now, with all the power he said, with all the power he has, the words he said is Yahweh rebuke you. He didn't make no accusation. You did this. You said that. You did this. You did that. You stood like this. You made me feel like that. His words was real quick. Yahweh rebuke you. Then you go up and it says, likewise also these filthy dreamers defiled the flesh and despised dominion. What in their dream allowed them the possibility to despise dominion? If you despise dominion, you despise authority. Now you believe that it's okay to speak against it. What in your dream made you that bold? Go ahead.
But these speak evil of those things which they know not. But what they know naturally as brute beasts, and those things they corrupt themselves. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Kor. These are spots in your feast of love, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear.
Feeding themselves without fear. What erased the fear? Fullness of bread and idleness of time. The two worst things you can have. You realize that you can have fullness of bread, but still have to spend all day working. If you have fullness of bread and still don't have to work, but a little bit, wait a minute. Now you still got idleness of time and Lucifer all up in here. And you got enough money to go and cause some damage somewhere. See, when you got idleness of time and you broke, all your problems are right here. You can't do nothing else with them. you ain't in trouble to nobody but you. All right. Go ahead.
Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots.
All right, that's as far as I want to go right there. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5. And let's start that at verse 1.
First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 1. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity.
All right, so then we have to examine how we're going to deal with something and not just go willy-nilly and just say, you know what, because I feel like this, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Go ahead.
Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home.
Whoa. Let them first learn to show piety at home. You have folk that'll be real nice on the Sabbath day and go and be straight hellions when they get to the house. They don't think that that is connected to their salvation.
I only have to be nice to Yahweh. I only have to be nice to you.
What?
And to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before Elohim. Now she that is a widow indeed, and desolate, trusteth in Elohim, and continues in supplications and prayers night and day. But she that lives in pleasure is dead while she lives. And these things give in charge, that they may be blameless. But if any provide not for his own, and specifically for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old.
60 years old is 60. Go ahead.
Having been the wife of one man.
Why they say that? Having been the wife of one man. Wait a minute. Now go back to Isaiah 4. What's bringing the reproach? See, the things that they done told us is normal, is the very things that's going to get you the reproach, and then you're running off your mouth while standing in reproach. This New Testament we talking about. Go ahead.
Well reported of for good works. If she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work.
All right, now you have to look at your works. Do any of these things show up in it? Go ahead.
But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanting against Yahshua, they will marry, having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith. And withal, they learn to be idle.
Here we go with that idle thing again. Here we go with that free time. So we got to understand, time ain't free. You better find something to do. Go ahead.
Wandering about from house to house. And not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not.
You know what I heard, child? I had heard from a bird.
Right. Go ahead.
I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Pause. If the adversary is speaking reproachfully, he is standing before Elohim making accusation about you. Now, what kind of evidence or ammunition did you just give him? Go ahead.
For some are already turned aside after Satan. If any man or woman that believes have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
Now, if you have elders that rule well, that are to be counted with double honor, you need to be careful how you approach them with accusation. Go ahead.
For the scripture says, you shall not muzzle the ox that treads out the corn. and the laborer is worthy of his reward.
But you know what happened? When people then believe, okay, well, if that's the laborer and he can say certain things, people say, well, I ought to be able to do it too. No, you don't sit in that seat. You don't have the same rights as he had. Go ahead.
Against an elder receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear. I charge you before Elohim, and the Adonai Yahshua HaMashiach, and the elect angels, that you observe these things without preferring one before another, doing nothing by partiality. Lay hands suddenly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sins. Keep yourself pure.
Uh-huh.
Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for your stomach's sake and your own often infirmities. Some men's sins are open beforehand, going before to judgment, and some men they follow after. Likewise also the good works of some are manifest beforehand, and they that are otherwise cannot be hid.
All right. Let's go to Matthew chapter 27. Matthew chapter 27. And we're going to read verses 32 through 44.
Verse 32. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simeon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they were come unto a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. And they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. And sitting down, they watched him there, and set up over his head his accusation written, This is Yahshua, the King of the Yehudis.
So, what they wrote over his head was an accusation. They said this is what he is crucified and killed for. This is his accusation. Go ahead.
Then were there 2 thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and another on the left. And they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads, and saying, You that destroyed the temple and built it in 3 days, save yourself. If you be the son of Elohim, come down from the cross.
Right. Yahweh will sometimes leave you in disparity so everybody will get an opportunity to say all that they need to say against you. You ready to come up out of a hole, and Yahweh like, no, not yet. All the people who really have indignation with you haven't spoken yet. I want to give an opportunity for all of them to talk. So I'm going to need to keep you down a little longer. Go ahead.
Likewise, all the chief priests mocking him with the scribes and elders said, He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the king of Israel, let him come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in Elohim, let him deliver him now, if he will have him, for he said, I am the son of Elohim. The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth.
Right. So, everybody get an opportunity to open their mouth wide and say whatever that is that they feel like they need to say. But there's going to come a point where you're going to have to answer for every word that's proceeded out of your mouth. For by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Luke chapter 7. Luke chapter 7, and let's start at verse 36.
And one of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahshua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment.
Now understand now, this woman knows she is a sinner. This woman knows she has reproach. When you know you got reproach, you approach differently. See, you got to understand that you got reproach so you can change your approach. But when you think you got it together, you approach like they owe you something.
Yeah, sure. I done came here. I ain't got all day. You gonna do this or what?
Go ahead.
Now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touches him, for she's a sinner.
They said he can't be no prophet because he would have known. That's Jesse. Everybody knows Jesse. She known about these parts. Matter of fact, before I got in the... Well, you know what? I ain't going to talk about that. but we knows her. Right. He ain't going to tell that much of the story. Right. Go ahead.
And Yahshua answering said unto him, Simeon, I have somewhat to say unto you. And he says, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor which had 2 debtors. The one owed 500 pence and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will love him most?
Now, this parable is very interesting because we really see this the one way it is spoken. But there's another way to also look at this. Go ahead.
Simeon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave most. And he said unto him, You have rightly judged. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simeon, See you this woman? I entered into your house, and you gave me no water for my feet.
Right. He don't think he needs you. All right. See, the woman knows she has reproach. So her approach is softer. Question. Why is our approach so aggressive and hard? Don't we know we have some reproach too? Go ahead.
But she has washed my feet with her tears, and wiped them with the hairs of her head. You gave me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in has not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil you did not anoint, but this woman has anointed my feet with ointment.
Wait a minute. My head with oil you did not anoint, but this woman has anointed my feet with ointment. You would think if we know we have a reproach, that we would approach different. But you have the hardest approach from those who have reproach. We're operating backwards. The ones with all the stuff to say should be the quietest ones in the room. Go ahead, pray.
Wherefore I say unto you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven.
Her sins, which are many, are forgiven because she approached differently. She didn't run in her mouth making accusation. Go ahead.
For she loves much, but to whom little is forgiven, the same loves little.
Right. But tell me this. How is it that we have been forgiven much, but still don't love much? You realize there's something wrong with your equation? Do you understand all the things that you have been forgiven, but you don't have the love that matches the forgiveness that you have been given? And be careful. At least he had to show it to you by reaching in that bag and putting it out and saying, well, let's discuss it out here in the open. Since you don't think that I've forgiven you and that you need to alter how you operate in love, how about let me put my hand in this bag and let's put it out here on the altar and let's discuss it. No, now we want private counseling. No. Ain't no more private counseling. You finish that, bro.
And he said unto her, your sins are forgiven.
All right. That's all that we're going to do for today. It looks like we'll probably have trivia around 5:30. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.